Hello, everyone. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of Euglena. What exactly is it? Euglena is a single celled microorganism, a protist, found mainly in freshwater environments. What makes it super cool is that it acts like both a plant and an animal. Here's what a Euglena cell looks like under a microscope. It's tiny, much smaller than the width of a human hair. Think of it as nature's hybrid. Like a plant, it can make its own food using sunlight. Like an animal, it can move around and even eat other things when needed. This unique combination makes Euglena one of the most interesting and versatile microorganisms on Earth. Euglena is truly unique in the microscopic world because it exhibits characteristics of both plants and animals. This dual nature makes it one of the most fascinating microorganisms to study. Like plants, Euglena contains chloroplasts filled with chlorophyll, the green pigment that captures sunlight. These chloroplasts allow Euglena to perform photosynthesis, converting sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water into glucose and oxygen. But Euglena also has animal-like characteristics. Unlike plants, it can move using its flagellum and actively hunt for food. It can consume organic particles and other microorganisms through a process similar to how animals eat. This remarkable dual nature means Euglena can survive in many different environments. When sunlight is available, it acts like a plant with its built-in solar panels. When light is scarce, it can hunt and feed like an animal. It's like having the best of both worlds in one tiny cell. Understanding where Euglena fits in the tree of life helps us appreciate its unique characteristics and evolutionary history. Let's explore Euglena's taxonomic classification step by step. Euglena belongs to the kingdom Protista, which includes all single-celled eukaryotic organisms that don't fit neatly into the plant, animal, or fungal kingdoms. This diverse kingdom contains many fascinating microorganisms. Moving down the taxonomic tree, Euglena is classified in the phylum Euglenozoa. This phylum is characterized by organisms that typically have flagella and unique cellular structures. The Euglenozoa phylum includes not just Euglena, but also parasitic organisms like trypanosomes. What unites them are shared cellular features like flagella and unique mitochondrial characteristics. Continuing down the hierarchy, we find Euglena in the class Euglenoidea and finally the genus Euglena itself. Each level represents increasingly specific shared characteristics. Euglena's classification hasn't always been clear-cut. Historically, scientists debated whether to classify it with plants because of photosynthesis or with animals because of its movement and feeding behavior. Modern molecular techniques and genetic analysis have firmly established Euglena's place in the Euglenozoa, resolving decades of taxonomic uncertainty and helping us understand its true evolutionary relationships. This taxonomic classification reveals Euglena's evolutionary relationships. It shares a common ancestor with other euglenozoans, including disease-causing trypanosomes, despite their very different lifestyles today. Understanding Euglena's taxonomic position helps scientists study its unique features and potential applications. This classification system provides a framework for understanding how this remarkable organism evolved its dual plant-animal characteristics. The pellicle is Euglena's most distinctive structural feature. This flexible, protein-rich layer surrounds the entire cell, acting like a protective yet adaptable outer covering. The pellicle is made up of protein strips arranged in a helical pattern around the cell. These strips are what give the pellicle its unique flexibility while still providing structural support. What makes the pellicle special is its incredible flexibility. Unlike rigid cell walls found in plants, the pellicle can bend, twist, and stretch, allowing Euglena to change its shape dramatically. Watch how the pellicle allows Euglena to squeeze and stretch. This flexibility is crucial for movement through water and for squeezing through tight spaces between other microorganisms. Think of the pellicle like flexible armor. Unlike the rigid armor of a knight, Euglena's pellicle provides protection while allowing complete freedom of movement. This flexibility gives Euglena a huge advantage in its microscopic world. It can navigate through dense populations of other microorganisms, squeeze through narrow spaces, and change shape to optimize its movement through water. The pellicle is truly one of nature's most elegant solutions, providing both protection and flexibility in a single structure. This remarkable adaptation is what makes Euglena such a successful microorganism in diverse aquatic environments. Now we focus on one of Euglena's most important structures for movement, the flagellum. This remarkable whip-like structure acts as the cell's primary means of propulsion through water. Euglena typically has one or two flagella, but usually only one is visible and actively used for movement. This single flagellum extends from the front end of the cell like a flexible whip. Think of the flagellum like a tiny motorboat propeller. Just as a propeller pushes water backward to move a boat forward, the flagellum beats in a wave-like motion to propel Euglena through its aquatic environment. The flagellum is incredibly flexible and can change its beating pattern. It moves in a whip-like motion, creating waves that push against the surrounding water to generate forward thrust. This flagellar motion allows Euglena to swim actively through water, seeking optimal conditions for photosynthesis or hunting for food. The flagellum gives Euglena remarkable mobility in its microscopic world. The flagellum is truly Euglena's motor system, enabling this single-celled organism to navigate its environment with surprising agility and purpose. Now we focus on one of Euglena's most remarkable features, its chloroplasts. These green organelles are what make Euglena truly special among microorganisms. Inside the Euglena cell, you'll find numerous chloroplasts scattered throughout the cytoplasm. These small, oval-shaped organelles contain the green pigment chlorophyll, which gives them their distinctive color. Let's take a closer look at the structure of a single chloroplast. Each chloroplast has an outer membrane and contains internal structures called thylakoids, which are stacked like pancakes. The thylakoids contain chlorophyll molecules, the green pigments that capture light energy. These molecules are the key to photosynthesis, acting like tiny solar panels within the cell. When sunlight hits the chloroplasts, photosynthesis begins. Light energy is captured by the chlorophyll and used to convert carbon dioxide and water into glucose and oxygen. The photosynthesis equation shows this amazing process. 6 molecules of carbon dioxide plus 6 molecules of water combined with light energy produce 1 molecule of glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. The glucose produced serves as food and energy for the Euglena, while the oxygen is released as a byproduct. This process makes Euglena completely self-sufficient when light is available. This photosynthetic ability transforms Euglena into a tiny, self-sufficient energy factory. Just like plants, it can harness sunlight to create its own food, making it independent of external food sources when conditions are right. This photosynthetic capability is what makes Euglena so unique among single-celled organisms. It bridges the gap between the plant and animal kingdoms, demonstrating nature's incredible versatility at the microscopic level. The eye spot, also called the stigma, is one of Euglena's most important navigation tools. This small reddish-orange organelle acts as the cell's light detector. The eye spot contains light-sensitive proteins that can detect the direction and intensity of light. When light hits the eye spot, it triggers a response that helps Euglena determine which way to move. This behavior is called phototaxis. When the eye spot detects light, it signals the flagellum to propel Euglena toward the light source. This ensures the cell can reach optimal lighting conditions for photosynthesis. Think of the eye spot as Euglena's built-in GPS system. Just like a GPS guides you to your destination, the eye spot guides Euglena to the best sunlight for making food through photosynthesis. The eye spot is essential for Euglena's survival. Without this light-sensing organelle, Euglena couldn't find the sunlight it needs to photosynthesize and produce energy. It's a perfect example of how even the smallest cellular structures can have huge impacts on an organism's ability to thrive. The contractile vacuole is a crucial structure in Euglena that acts like a tiny water pump. This specialized organelle helps the cell maintain proper water balance through a process called osmoregulation. Osmoregulation is the process of controlling water levels inside the cell. Water constantly moves in and out of Euglena through the cell membrane, and without proper regulation, this could be dangerous. When too much water enters the cell, it could cause the cell to swell up like a balloon and eventually burst. This would destroy the Euglena completely. The contractile vacuole detects this excess water and begins to fill up, collecting the extra water from inside the cell. Then the contractile vacuole contracts, pumping the excess water out of the cell through the cell membrane. This prevents the cell from bursting and maintains the proper water balance. The contractile vacuole also helps when there's too little water. Without enough water, the cell would shrivel up and couldn't function properly. The vacuole helps maintain just the right amount of water for optimal cell health. This constant regulation by the contractile vacuole is essential for Euglena's survival, allowing it to thrive in various freshwater environments where water conditions can change rapidly. Inside every Euglena cell, you'll find special storage compartments called paramecum granules. These yellow structures are Euglena's secret weapon for surviving tough times. Paramecum is a specialized carbohydrate, essentially a complex sugar polymer that's unique to Euglena and related organisms. Think of it as Euglena's personal energy storage system. When sunlight is available, Euglena performs photosynthesis to create energy. But instead of using all this energy immediately, it converts excess energy into paramecum and stores it in these granules. When conditions become dark and photosynthesis isn't possible, Euglena can break down its stored paramecum to release energy. This backup system allows it to survive for extended periods without sunlight. Think of paramecum like a rechargeable battery. Just as a battery charges when power is available and provides energy when you need it, paramecum stores energy during good times and releases it during challenging conditions. The key takeaway is that paramecum granules serve as Euglena's energy insurance policy. This remarkable adaptation allows these microorganisms to thrive in changing environments where light availability varies. Euglena has an amazing superpower when it comes to nutrition. Unlike most organisms that are stuck with just one way of getting food, Euglena can switch between 3 different feeding strategies depending on what's available. First, Euglena can be photoautotrophic, which means it makes its own food using sunlight, just like plants do. When there's plenty of light available, Euglena uses its chloroplasts to perform photosynthesis. Second, when light is scarce, Euglena can switch to heterotrophic nutrition. This means it hunts and consumes organic particles in the water, just like animals do. It literally eats other microorganisms and organic matter. But here's where Euglena gets really clever. It can also be mixotrophic, which means it combines both strategies at the same time. It's like being able to cook your own meal while also ordering takeout, getting the best of both worlds. Think of it this way. Most organisms are like restaurants that can only serve one type of cuisine. But Euglena is like a versatile chef who can cook Italian food, order Chinese takeout, or do both at the same time depending on what ingredients are available. This metabolic versatility is what makes Euglena so successful in different environments. Whether there's bright sunlight, complete darkness, or something in between, Euglena can adapt its feeding strategy to survive and thrive. Euglena is one of nature's ultimate survivors. This remarkable microorganism can thrive in environments that would kill most other living things. Let's explore what makes Euglena so incredibly tough. First, Euglena can handle extreme temperature changes. While most organisms struggle with climate variations, Euglena adapts to both freezing cold and changing temperatures with ease. Euglena also thrives in highly acidic conditions. Most life forms cannot survive in environments with very low pH, but Euglena continues to flourish even in acid levels that would dissolve metal. Even more impressive, Euglena can tolerate heavy metals that are toxic to virtually all other organisms. Metals like lead, copper, and zinc that poison most life forms are no match for Euglena's incredible resilience. A perfect example of Euglena's toughness is found in acid mine drainage sites. These are some of the most hostile environments on Earth, with extremely low pH and high concentrations of toxic metals. Yet Euglena species like Euglena mutabilis actually colonize and thrive in these deadly conditions. This incredible environmental tolerance makes Euglena a true survivor in the microbial world. While other organisms perish in extreme conditions, Euglena adapts and thrives, making it one of nature's most resilient life forms and opening up possibilities for biotechnology applications in harsh environments. Euglena has a fascinating way of reproducing that allows it to multiply rapidly when conditions are favorable. Unlike complex organisms that require 2 parents, Euglena reproduces all by itself through a process called asexual reproduction. The specific method Euglena uses is called longitudinal binary fission. The word longitudinal means lengthwise, and binary fission means splitting into two parts. So the cell literally divides itself lengthwise to create two identical copies. The division process begins when the Euglena cell starts to elongate and stretch. The nucleus inside the cell also begins to divide, ensuring that each new cell will have its own complete set of genetic material. As the cell continues to stretch, a constriction begins to form in the middle. This constriction gradually deepens, like pinching the cell in half, until the cell completely separates into two distinct daughter cells. The result is two identical daughter cells, each containing exactly the same genetic information as the original parent cell. These daughter cells are fully functional and can immediately begin living independently. Under favorable conditions with plenty of nutrients and light, this reproduction process can happen very quickly. Each daughter cell can divide again, leading to exponential population growth. This exponential growth pattern means that from just one Euglena cell, hundreds or even thousands of cells can be produced in a relatively short time. This efficient reproduction strategy helps Euglena populations thrive when environmental conditions are right. When Euglena faces harsh environmental conditions like drought, extreme temperatures, or lack of nutrients, it has a remarkable survival strategy. Instead of dying, some species can transform into a dormant state. Environmental stresses like drought, extreme cold, or toxic conditions can be deadly for most microorganisms. But Euglena has evolved a special survival mechanism. When conditions become too harsh, Euglena begins a remarkable transformation. It retracts its flagellum, rounds up its cell body, and secretes a protective wall around itself. This dormant form is called a cyst or palmella stage. The Euglena is now surrounded by a thick protective wall that shields it from harsh conditions. It's like nature's own survival pod. Think of this cyst as hitting the pause button on life. All metabolic activities slow down dramatically or stop completely. The Euglena can remain in this state for weeks, months, or even years. But this isn't the end of the story. When environmental conditions improve, something amazing happens. The cyst wall breaks down and the Euglena emerges, ready to resume its active life. The revival process is like watching life restart. The protective walls dissolve, the cell elongates back to its normal shape, the flagellum regrows, and metabolic activities resume. This cyst formation is a brilliant survival strategy that allows Euglena to outlast environmental challenges that would kill other organisms. It's one reason why Euglena has been so successful in colonizing diverse and sometimes extreme environments around the world. Euglena plays multiple crucial roles in aquatic ecosystems. These tiny organisms are ecological powerhouses that contribute to biodiversity and serve as vital links in the food web. First, Euglena acts as a primary producer. Using sunlight and carbon dioxide, it performs photosynthesis to create organic compounds. This makes it a foundation of the aquatic food chain. Euglena serves as food for many aquatic organisms. Small fish, zooplankton, and other microorganisms depend on Euglena as a nutritious food source, making it essential for the survival of higher organisms. Euglena also acts as a decomposer. When light is limited, it can consume dead organic matter, breaking it down and recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. This dual role makes it incredibly valuable. By serving both roles, Euglena contributes significantly to aquatic biodiversity. It supports complex food webs and helps maintain the delicate balance of aquatic ecosystems worldwide. In summary, Euglena is an ecological multitasker. It produces oxygen and organic compounds, feeds other organisms, recycles nutrients, and supports biodiversity. This makes it a cornerstone species in aquatic ecosystems. Euglena gracilis is emerging as a promising source for sustainable biofuel production. This remarkable microorganism has unique properties that make it an excellent alternative to fossil fuels. Euglena gracilis accumulates 3 key compounds that make it valuable for biofuel production. These include proteins for cellular structure, lipids that can be converted to biodiesel, and paramecium, a unique energy storage compound. Through photosynthesis, Euglena converts carbon dioxide from the atmosphere into valuable biomass. Using sunlight as energy, it transforms CO2 and water into organic compounds that can be processed into biofuel. Unlike fossil fuels, which are limited and produce harmful emissions, Euglena biofuel offers a sustainable solution. It's renewable, carbon neutral, and environmentally friendly, making it an ideal alternative for our energy needs. The key takeaway is that Euglena gracilis represents a breakthrough in sustainable energy. By transforming carbon dioxide into valuable biofuel compounds, it offers us a realistic path away from fossil fuel dependency toward a cleaner, renewable future. Euglena is emerging as a remarkable, sustainable food source with an impressive nutritional profile. This tiny microorganism packs a powerful punch of essential nutrients that could help address global food security challenges. Euglena contains an exceptional protein content of 45 to 60% by dry weight. These proteins include all essential amino acids needed for human nutrition, making it a complete protein source comparable to meat and eggs. The lipid content ranges from 15 to 25% and includes beneficial omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. These healthy fats are crucial for brain function and cardiovascular health. Euglena is rich in vitamins, particularly vitamin B12, which is rare in plant sources, plus vitamins E and C. This makes it especially valuable for vegetarian and vegan diets. Perhaps most unique is paramecium, a beta-glucan polysaccharide found only in Euglena. This compound has immune-boosting properties and acts as a prebiotic, supporting digestive health. One of the most promising applications is Euglena flour, which can be incorporated into various food products as a sustainable protein source. Euglena flour can be added to bread, pasta, cookies, and other baked goods to significantly boost their protein content without affecting taste or texture. The protein advantage is remarkable. While wheat flour contains only 12% protein, Euglena flour delivers 55% protein, making it an incredibly efficient way to enhance nutrition. Beyond human nutrition, Euglena shows tremendous promise as animal feed, particularly for aquaculture. Research shows that Euglena feed significantly decreases mortality rates in juvenile fish. The complete amino acid profile and immune-boosting paramecium help young fish survive and thrive. Fish fed with Euglena show improved growth rates, enhanced immune function, and better overall health compared to those on conventional feeds. As a sustainable protein source, Euglena feed reduces dependence on wild-caught fish meal, helping preserve marine ecosystems while providing superior nutrition. Euglena represents a revolutionary approach to nutrition, providing complete, high-quality protein for both humans and animals while requiring minimal resources and producing no environmental waste. This tiny organism could play a major role in feeding our growing world sustainably. Bioremediation is the process of using living organisms to clean up polluted environments. Euglena excels at this job because it can absorb and store harmful substances from contaminated water and soil. Euglena has a remarkable ability to absorb heavy metals like lead, mercury, and cadmium from contaminated water. The cells act like tiny sponges, soaking up these toxic substances and storing them safely inside their bodies. In wastewater treatment facilities, Euglena removes excess nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus that can cause harmful algae blooms. This process helps clean water before it returns to rivers and lakes. Think of Euglena as nature's tiny cleanup crew. These microscopic workers patrol polluted environments, collecting harmful substances, and making the water safer for other life forms. This makes Euglena a powerful tool for environmental restoration. Carbon dioxide in our atmosphere is a major contributor to climate change. Industrial facilities like power plants and steel refineries release massive amounts of CO2 into the air every day. But here's where Euglena becomes a climate hero. Through photosynthesis, these tiny organisms can capture carbon dioxide directly from the air and convert it into organic compounds. The photosynthesis process is like a natural carbon capture system. Euglena takes in carbon dioxide, combines it with water using sunlight energy, and produces glucose for food while releasing oxygen as a bonus. Watch how this works in practice. CO2 molecules from industrial emissions are captured by Euglena cells. Each molecule of carbon dioxide gets converted into organic matter, effectively removing it from the atmosphere. The impact is significant. Without intervention, industrial facilities continue pumping CO2 into the atmosphere, contributing to the greenhouse effect and global warming. But with Euglena-based carbon capture systems, we can dramatically reduce atmospheric CO2 levels. Multiple Euglena populations work together like a green army, continuously removing carbon dioxide from the air. Euglena may be microscopic, but its impact on climate change could be enormous. By harnessing the power of photosynthesis, these tiny organisms offer a natural, sustainable solution to one of our biggest environmental challenges. Euglena is emerging as a fascinating source of compounds with significant medicinal potential. This tiny microorganism produces unique substances that researchers are studying for various therapeutic applications. Within its cellular structure, Euglena produces various bioactive compounds that have caught the attention of medical researchers worldwide. The first compound of major interest is euglenafycin, a natural toxin produced by certain species of Euglena. While toxins might sound dangerous, many have proven to be valuable sources of medicines when properly studied and applied. Researchers are investigating euglenafycin's potential therapeutic properties. Many of today's most important medicines, from aspirin to cancer treatments, were originally derived from natural toxins and compounds found in living organisms. The second important compound is paramecium, a unique polysaccharide that Euglena produces for energy storage. Unlike euglenafycin, paramecium is already being used commercially in the health industry. Paramecium is marketed as an immunostimulatory agent in nutraceuticals. This means it helps boost and support the immune system, potentially helping the body defend against infections and diseases more effectively. Euglena truly represents a treasure trove of medical potential. With compounds like euglenafycin showing promise in research and paramecium already benefiting human health, scientists believe we've only scratched the surface. As research continues, Euglena may unlock new treatments for diseases, immune disorders, and other health challenges. This microscopic organism demonstrates how nature often holds the keys to solving our biggest medical puzzles. Euglena produces a unique polymer called paramecium that has remarkable properties for creating advanced materials. This natural compound is opening doors to innovative applications in material science. Paramecium can be processed into specialized fiber materials with remarkable wound-healing properties. These biocompatible fibers promote cell growth, reduce inflammation, and naturally biodegrade as wounds heal. Euglena-derived materials are being developed into bio-based adhesives for automotive manufacturing. These adhesives provide strong structural bonding while being environmentally friendly and enabling easier recycling of car parts. Bio-based adhesives make automotive recycling much more efficient. Unlike traditional adhesives that make parts difficult to separate, Euglena-derived adhesives can be designed to break down cleanly, allowing valuable materials to be recovered and reused. The versatility of Euglena-derived materials extends far beyond automotive applications, from medical dressings that promote healing to smart textiles and sustainable building materials. These bio-based polymers represent a new generation of high-performance, environmentally friendly materials. As research continues, Euglena-based materials are poised to revolutionize multiple industries by providing sustainable alternatives that don't compromise on performance. This tiny microorganism is helping us build a more sustainable future, one molecule at a time. In 2020, scientists launched one of the most ambitious genetic research projects focused on Euglena. But first, what exactly is genome sequencing? Genome sequencing is like reading the complete genetic instruction manual of an organism. It reveals every gene, every genetic switch, and every piece of DNA code that makes that organism unique. The Euglena International Network, known as EIN, launched an incredibly ambitious plan in 2020. Their goal? To sequence the genomes of every single known euglenoid species on Earth. This isn't just about sequencing one or two species. The EIN plans to decode the genetic blueprints of all known euglenoid species over the next decade. This represents hundreds of different microorganisms. Understanding Euglena's genetic code opens up a world of possibilities. Scientists can identify which genes control photosynthesis, which ones produce valuable compounds, and how to enhance these traits for biotechnology applications. This genome sequencing initiative represents a turning point for Euglena research. By understanding the genetic blueprints of these remarkable organisms, scientists can unlock their full potential for solving global challenges in energy, food, and environmental protection. Euglena Company Limited is pioneering a groundbreaking project in Bangladesh to create a sustainable aviation fuel supply chain. This initiative represents one of the most ambitious applications of Euglena technology in addressing climate change. Sustainable aviation fuel, or SAF, is a revolutionary alternative to traditional jet fuel. It can reduce aviation emissions by up to 80% while being fully compatible with existing aircraft engines and infrastructure. The Bangladesh project focuses on building a comprehensive raw material supply chain for CF production. This initiative aims to establish sustainable feedstock sources that could transform the aviation industry's environmental impact. Used cooking oil recovery forms a crucial component of the supply chain. Restaurants and food establishments generate large quantities of waste cooking oil that can be collected, processed, and converted into high-quality SAF feedstock. Oilseed crop cultivation provides a dedicated and scalable source of feedstock. By growing specific oil-rich crops, Bangladesh can create a reliable supply chain while providing economic benefits to local farmers and agricultural communities. This integrated approach combines used cooking oil recovery with dedicated oilseed cultivation to create a robust and sustainable supply chain. The Bangladesh project demonstrates how Euglena technology can revolutionize air travel by making it significantly more environmentally friendly. Our world faces three major challenges that threaten human well-being and our planet's future. Over 1 billion people live in extreme poverty. 828 million face hunger and malnutrition, and climate change continues to accelerate with rising temperatures and pollution. But what if I told you that a tiny single-celled organism could help solve all three of these problems? Euglena, this remarkable microbe we've been studying, holds incredible promise for creating sustainable solutions. Euglena offers solutions in three key areas. First, sustainable energy through biofuel production. Second, nutritious food sources to combat malnutrition. And third, environmental cleanup through bioremediation. The future looks bright for Euglena applications. Companies are already developing aviation biofuels, creating nutritious food products, and using Euglena for environmental remediation. Research continues to unlock even more potential. From a tiny pond-dwelling microbe to a potential solution for humanity's biggest challenges, Euglena represents the incredible power of nature and scientific innovation working together. This amazing organism truly is going places, and it might just help save our world.